Could this be the week of reconciliation in a relationship that looked like it was over? Because the cards from March 8th to the 14th show something sudden happening in love and relationships. Is this the moment where two people finally see the truth and reconnect? Or is it a transformation that pushes the connection to a completely new level? We actually see counterpart energy appearing in the cards, the King and Queen of Pentacles, which in tarot represents two people who can build something real together. But that's not the only shift happening here. At the same time, the cards are showing the end of a cycle in career and money. So the real question is this the week someone finally steps into the opportunity or career path they've always envisioned? Let's take a deeper look and see what the cards reveal for love, relationships, career opportunity, and money this week. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Spiritual Signposts. Today, I'm doing a weekly reading a little bit differently. Instead of combining everything into one message, I'm splitting the reading into two parts so that we can really look at the energy more clearly. The first part will be focused on love and relationships, and the second part will focus on career opportunities and money energy for the week ahead. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Diana. I'm a psychic medium and intuitive reader, and I share these readings as general guidance for whoever is drawn to this message. If this message resonates with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below, because each month I do a draw for a free personal reading for someone in the community. And if you enjoy spiritual guidance and inspiration, you can also check out my other YouTube channel, where I've shared additional spiritual insights and teachings as well. If you would like a personal reading, you can visit my website. The link and all the details are in the description below. All right, let's take a look at the love and relationship energy for the week of March the 8th to the 14th. So we begin with our love and relationship reading. Right away, this spread tells us a very strong story. The first energy coming out is the Death card, which in tarot represents transformation. Something in a relationship dynamic is ending in its old form, and it's making space for something new to emerge. This isn't a small change energy. This is a deep transformation. Then we have religious factors. And this tells us that there's some kind of spiritual beliefs or personal values or even someone's spiritual path that may be influencing this connection. Sometimes when people grow spiritually, they begin to see things differently. And that can shift the entire dynamic between two people. Then we have fear. And fear can sometimes come from the past experiences or from caring very deeply about a certain outcome. All right, this fear shows that someone here may be spending time in their head, expecting the worst or worrying about how something may unfold. Then we have children. Children are important to this partnership. So this children could literally be a factor in the relationship. Or this could be your inner child healing, where old emotional patterns are being triggered so they can finally be understood and released. Next, you have the passion I feel is overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this. So there's clearly a very strong emotional and physical attraction here. And this connection may feel intense, magnetic, even a little confusing at times because the emotions are so strong. Right? Then we have the karmic ties, number 10. 10 is also the number of endings. So when a karmic energy appears in a reading, it usually means that the connection came into your life for a deeper lesson or reason on a soul level. Now, these types of connections can feel incredibly powerful because they're meant to trigger growth. They're meant to trigger healing and awareness. So the current energy here shows a connection that is deep, it's intense, and it's transformative. But it also carries some fear and emotional overwhelm. So let's look at the rest of the cards and see how it begins to unfold. So the first card we see is not a mild card, it's the tarot card. And this represents sudden truth, sudden change. Something may be happening this week that clears away any confusion or illusion in the relationship. This could be a conversation, a realization, or a moment where something becomes really clear. And sometimes when the Tower appears, it actually frees people from patterns that they've been holding back for a very long time. After that, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. This energy is a grounded energy. It's stable, it's nurturing, it's emotionally mature. And this can represent somebody choosing self-respect, stability, emotional balance instead of staying in chaos or uncertainty. Then we move to the Fool energy. And this represents a new beginning. Someone may decide to take a leap of faith or approach the connection from a completely fresh perspective. Next, we have the Seven of Cups, which shows that there's still multiple emotional possibilities here. There's choices to be considered, but there's also discernment needs to be brought into each decision that's made. Not every decision here or every choice is based on your highest good. It may be based on nostalgia. It may be based on old energy or old beliefs. So it's asking you to be very discerning when you make a decision. It sometimes appears when someone is trying to figure out what they truly want and how to move forward. But then we see something very interesting. We see the Ace of Pentacles. And this represents a real opportunity. An opportunity for stability, something grounded to begin. And then the spread ends off with the King of Pentacles. What's really fascinating about this spread right now, we actually have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And in tarot, when a king and queen of the same suit appears, it represents a counterpart energy or a matched pair. Right? The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who is nurturing, grounded, emotionally balanced, and secured in their values. And then you've got the King of Pentacles representing someone who is stable, dependable, and ready to build something real and lasting. So despite the transformation and the sudden changes we see earlier in the spread, the energy actually moves towards stability and alignment between two people. So what to expect this week? There's something shifting suddenly in a relationship dynamic. And with the Death and the Tower here, both appearing together in the same row, right? This is the kind of energy where something happens that changes how you see a situation almost immediately. For some of you, this could be a conversation. For others, it may be something revealed or a realization that suddenly makes sense. There's a lot influencing this connection right now. And because we have karmic ties here, we have fear, and we have deep passion. We even see children or inner child healing. These are all involved in this dynamic. So the connection may have many different layers to it. But what's interesting is that once the Tower clears and the confusion is no longer, the energy actually begins to stabilize. Right? Someone here may suddenly decide that they are done with emotional uncertainty and they begin stepping into the Queen of Pentacles energy. This is the energy of someone who says, I know my value. I know what I deserve. I'm choosing stability and peace. And when someone does that, the energy around them shifts. That's where the Fool energy appears, right? Which suggests something may take a leap. It may be a fresh start or approach a connection in a completely different way. Now, there still may be a moment where someone is sorting through their emotions with the Seven of Cups, deciding what direction they truly want to move in. But what's very interesting here in this spread, it doesn't end in confusion. It moves into real opportunity. You've got the Ace of Pentacles next, which suggests something solid can actually begin here. The spread ends with the King of Pentacles, which is someone who shows up as grounded, stable, and ready to build something meaningful. So with the King and Queen of Pentacles both appearing, this represents two people finally meeting each other in the same energy. Not just passion anymore. It's not just karmic intensity, but something that actually has the ability to last and grow. So what this is showing you really for this connection this week, maybe someone was ready to walk away, okay? Maybe you were thinking of giving up on that relationship, or maybe things felt confusing, intense, or even too overwhelming to deal with anymore. But what these cards show you is that something is happening that changes that direction. the direction of that whole connection. There's a realization here, or a conversation, or a moment where both people suddenly see things differently. Because even though we see transformation here, with the Death and the Tower, two very strong cards here, the energy actually moves into something really grounded. Ending with the Queen and King of Pentacles, which is the strongest partnership in the tarot. It's not just passion. This is maturity. This is stability, and two people learning how to build something real together. And Pentacles also represent abundance and growth. So this could be two people moving toward a relationship that's not only emotionally aligned, but also stable and supportive in the real world. So for some of you, what may look like an ending or a breaking point could actually become a turning point that brings the relationship to a higher level. All right, let's take a look at your career opportunity now and money energy for the week ahead. Right away, our cards are suggesting that there's an abundance, new direction, a good start on the week. The energy of welcome abundance into your life shows that there's an opportunity here for something to open up financially and professionally. This can be a new opportunity, a new stream of income, or even a shift in how you approach work. We see the career transition card showing up, which suggests that something you may be thinking about, like changing roles or stepping into something new, or moving toward a direction that feels more aligned with your purpose now and your new vibration. This doesn't always mean you're leaving the job immediately, but it can mean that doors are beginning to open towards something better suited for you. Then we have I am a visionary, number 12. And number 12 equals 3. 3 is the teacher, the creator energy. This card speaks of seeing possibilities that others may not see yet. Some of you may be feeling inspired about new ideas, or have a business plan, or creative projects, or even a long-term goal. This is the energy of thinking bigger about your future. Then you've got the Panther Spirit, which is 44, the master number 44. So this card is a powerful card because it reminds you that sometimes opportunities appear when you step into confidence and trust your instincts. There may be a moment this week where you realize that you're actually more capable and more prepared than you even thought you were. This card is very important. Next, we have the Coyote energy. And this is number 16, which is number 7. And this 7 implies self, the connection with self, okay, your uniqueness. And it's what it's saying is trust the divine detours. You may not always have the answers. The path may seem unknown, not familiar, but you have to trust that sometimes things happen. It's a blessing in disguise. It's a detour to get you to where you need to be. Sometimes the path of success doesn't happen in a straight line. A delay or change in direction or something unexpected could actually lead you to a better opportunity than what you originally planned. Then we see Winter's Dream, number 63, which equals 9. 9 is preparation for completion. And this suggests that there's a gestation period here. This suggests that something is still developing behind the scenes. Even though movement is happening, some of these opportunities may still be forming and preparing to come forward. So let's talk about the tarot cards now. What's unfolding? We begin with the World card, which represents, again, completion and achievements. This card appears when someone has finished a cycle, preparing to step into a new phase of their life or career. And it just so happens it's right next to the career transition and the abundance card. Then we see the Strength card, which shows a need to remain confident and patient as things unfold, as you step into this new phase of your life. Sometimes opportunities appear when you continue moving forward with courage and inner stability, even when the outcome isn't fully clear yet. Then we have the Sun showing up. And we all know this is the best card in the tarot. It's the most positive card. And the Sun represents success. It represents recognition and growth and positive outcomes. So it's suggesting that something connected to work, connected to money, or an opportunity here has the potential to bring you great happiness and expansion. But then we see the Seven of Swords next to that. And this can represent strategy, but it can also represent being brutally truthful with yourself. It could mean thinking carefully about how you approach a situation, planning your next move wisely, or being mindful on how you navigate professional environments. Then we have the Hangman, and this suggests that something may require a shift in perspective, or a moment of pause before the next step becomes clear. Sometimes waiting or observing allows the right opportunity to reveal itself. And finally, we have the Knight of Swords. This represents sudden movement, a fast action. So after a moment of reflection and planning, something may move very quickly. This could be a conversation or an opportunity or a decision that suddenly pushes things forward. And now, what does this mean in real life, in career, money, and opportunity? What's really interesting here in this reading, it actually opens up with endings before the new opportunities begin. The first number we got 37. And 37 represents 10. 10 in numerology represents completion of a cycle. Right underneath that, we've got the World card. The World card is an ending card. It's a completion of a cycle. So this tells me right away that a cycle connected to lack or limitation or feeling stuck in a career path is ending. And for some of you, this could be an end of a job that no longer fulfills you. For others, it could be the end of believing that you have to stay in something that doesn't truly align with who you are anymore. Because then we have the career transition, and this confirms that something new is opening up here. It's not random. This is something you've actually envisioned for a long time. You've got the visionary card. There's an idea, there's a path, or a direction that you've had in your mind for quite some time, maybe your whole lifetime. Maybe you didn't feel ready enough to step into it yet. Now look at the numbers that appears in this spread. We've got 12. We've got 44, the master number. We've got 17. We've got 16, 63, along with the sun. So these are all activation numbers. Activation energy. The number 7 reduces to 8. Which is power, which is abundance, which is material success. And it's right next to the abundance card. Then we see the sun and the most positive card in the deck. And this is representing visibility, success, joy, and things finally working out. So this looks like a moment where someone finally says, I'm going to do the thing I've always wanted to do. Something you may have dreamed about, talked about, or envisioned for always. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the courage to do it before. But now you've got the strength here. You've got the panther spirit, which is reclaiming your power. And this tells me that the courage is exactly what is showing up for you now. But there's also an important moment here in the spread. It's the truth moment. It's because the Seven of Swords is here. It's telling you to be brutally honest with yourself, right? Sometimes the biggest breakthrough happens when you stop telling yourself the story that you can't do something. So reclaim your power. And that means looking at yourself and saying, what do I actually want? What am I actually capable of? And what have I been holding back from doing? Then we see the Hangman here, which is a moment where perspective changes. Suddenly you see situations differently. And when that shift happens, the Knight of Swords appears. That's the fast movement, the action, moving right into that. All right, I'm doing this. And things start moving quickly. So in real life, this could mean leaving a job that you no longer align with. It could be starting a business idea that you've had for years, applying for something you didn't think you could get, or stepping into a career direction that finally feels like your purpose now. Because this energy of this spread says something very clearly. The old cycle of limitation has ended. The new chapter has already begun. There's potential for success, for confidence, and the life you've always envisioned about yourself and for yourself. This is powerful. So this week is bringing in some really strong energies of success and abundance. So that's the energy I have for you for this week, March the 8th to the 14th. And as always, take what resonates for you and trust your own intuition with this message. If this reading spoke to you, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below, and get your name in for a draw for a personal reading at the end of the month. And if you're looking for deeper guidance, visit my website for personal readings. I have the link below. And I also have the link to my other YouTube channel where I share more spiritual inspiration, teachings, and insight for those walking through their spiritual path. So thank you so much for joining me here and sharing your energy with me in this space, being part of this spiritual signpost community. Wishing you a beautiful week. Love and blessings.